Welcome to the mindless musings of friends while two of us play Stardew Valley.
They're making her less sexy for the Space Jam sequel, and people are going nuts over this for some
Okay,
stupid reason.
Okay,
Okay.
so I've got to get this one.
It has been 27 years. I don't know what character he's talking about is. Like, Space
there
Jam was
was-
like, Space Jam was 1994. I have no idea. I have no idea.
There was a female bunny character in that movie, and people like our buddy Tom, who may or may be into furry type stuff.
All right, where are we
This
looking
was
at?
like designed to like be a. I'm trying to think of a good example. Who was Roger Rabbit's wife?
Jessica.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Jessica Rabbit type situation where you have a
Okay.
hot cartoon character in your child's movie, and people are like freaking out, like, how dare you make Lola Bunny not sexy?
Okay, going back way before the Lola Bunny and way the hell before Jessica Rabbit. So going back way before this, people actually used to find some weirdos. Used to actually find like Wilma and Betty from the Flintstones attractive. And
I
I'm
mean-
like, why there's no detail to them?
I mean, the Cat and Lister have a really good point there. I mean, maybe it's the fact that we've been alone in deep space for 3 million years, but maybe Wilma's Flintstone is the most desirable woman who ever lived. It's like one of the best conversations on Red Dwarf.
You're making me think of Wayne's World now, buddy.
Oh yeah, when Garth is like, isn't that like the best awkward conversation ever?
So I'm wondering something. Since the whole Lola Bunny thing was brought up and her being made to sexy, I guess.
I don't even know what.
Well, less sexy
Um,
for the sequel, more for the '90s movie, but whatever.
I'll tell you what, I'm just gonna
Okay,
search this. Go on, keep
so
going.
this came out in the 90s.
Yes.
And this whole furry thing is kind of a new thing.
Kind of weird, is what it is.
It more than just kind of, sweetheart. So
That's,
when I was coming up, we didn't have furries. Okay? There was no such thing. And I'm wondering if maybe these furries are a result of things like making the anthropomorphic animals so
alluring. But okay,
I really have a hard time calling them that, but yes.
okay, so I'm looking at the design now from the old movie, and the first thing that's like on my mind right now is like, this design doesn't even make sense. What they've done in the original design is they've tied the character's ears back, a rabbit's ears, like it's her, like a her extension, a ponytail. And I'm
Are you
like,
trying to make sense of a cartoon?
yeah, exactly. But I'm like, isn't that aren't rabbits supposed to have like 3 ears so they can hear?
Actually, it's not just hearing. Tying them back like that would cause them a lot of pain because those ears are cartilage.
Yeah, like imbalancing and everything. I mean,
Yes.
ears are precious, dude. Don't screw them.
Procky.
But yeah, I barely remember this character now from my youth.
The movie sucked. Like,
Are you-
let's be real.
Like, that's what I'm trying to get across to you. Like, the original Space Jam is not exactly the greatest movie ever created. In fact, I'd rather forget it even existed.
So if furries are into Lola Bunny, were they also into Bugs Bunny when he was in drag?
Damn
We were
straight.
trying to avoid this conversation.
Garth
Like me and,
Elgell's
me and,
right.
Phil, me and Phil
Why were you
sidestepped
trying
this.
to avoid this conversation?
We-
It's
we
a
were
legitimate question.
I think it was brought up in Wayne's World.
We already talked about this. Yes.
Yeah, actually, when you mention it, yeah, I remember that conversation. Yeah.
Like one of the greatest throwaway lines in any movie ever. Hey, did you ever think that Bugs Bunny's attractive when he dresses up like a girl bunny? No. No.
It just feels funny seeing people freak out over this of all things.
You know,
Like, how dare you change? Like, there's even like a hashtag on YouTube, not my Lola Bunny.
What?
Yes.
Mike Myers, when he's reacting to Dana Carvey saying that line, he's not acting. He's genuinely laughing his ass off.
Yeah, I mean, that's believable.
I agree with Carol though. Like, let's stop making cartoons hot.
But I don't think the cartoons are hot.
Well, let's
No.
maybe.
I think the issue is like there's a consequence of a design. It's like, say they made a sequel to Who Framed Roger Rabbit and they had to continue on with that character that they used in the original one of that, okay? The real creative design question here to actually get around all of these things is don't create a sequel to Space Jam. Because what has this character been used in anything else since? Like, I have no idea. You had to remind me, like, Space Jam existed. Just don't make a sequel to it. Therefore, you never need to address that again. Simple. But no, we need to spend our money. Warner Brothers needs to spend money on its mascots, I guess.
Why have 20/30 year later sequels suddenly become a thing?
Because they've run out of ideas and people are bitching too much about remakes.
It seems like a relatively new. Like,
It's not that. The real reason is that they need the thing that they release next week on the cinema screen to be a success financially. Okay? That's what it is. It's literally a case of we need the product to sell because our jobs and careers are on the line right now. It's a tough period to get people to actually watch something guaranteed because they're still taking a huge gamble on these streaming services that are currently available.
Like prior to The Last Jedi, not The Last Jedi, The Force Awakens. The only other example of a 20/30 years later sequel I can think of is The Godfather 3. Because there is a massive jump in time between the second Godfather and the third one, to the point where
That
Al
was made
Pacino...
within the same decade as the second one.
I don't think it was, because Al Pacino looks like a completely different person in the third one.
Could have, put weight on lost weight, aged between then and then.
I mean, he looks like a young man in his 30s, which I think he was in the second one, and I don't know, he has gray hair by the third one.
It could just be what they've been trying to do. Actually age in between the characters, generations and such.
I mean, I don't know the exact dates off the top of my head, but I think it's a pretty significant one.
Okay, but yeah, what's going to make more money at the end of the day if you tell me that, hey, Star Wars Episode 10 is in cinema and Glenn Close's new romantic drama is in? Like, which one do you think is going to make more movie money?
The established product.
Yeah, the established product that has, like, generations behind it.
I don't know. A lot of people are really not happy with Star Wars products now.
I thought you was going to make a case for Glenn Close then. But Glenn Close is the actual actress who has made a case for this. That's why I'm bringing her up. She's mentioned many, many times that she can't get gigs in Hollywood other than, like, for established products because of the simple fact that how you're supposed to compete against, like, Christian Bale as Batman this week if you're making a period drama.
Like, the problem
first off, a period drama cannot compete.
Oh God, no. Unless it's like Saving Private Ryan or something, and there's a reputable director behind it. That's what sells it.
That might be the last time I actually.
Well, I would argue what sells it is advertising.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of big budget things that can afford to advertise typically do better.
Good word of mouth helps too.
Tenet didn't do so great, and yet it was advertised too buggery because it was supposed to be the next, the return of cinema last September, October. And I went watching it and I thought it was 2.5 hours of just messy, incomprehensible nonsense.
You know what Tenet was, as far as I'm concerned? Tenet is a canary. A member of that lovely squad in Ridgeworth. Like that's Hollywood sending the canary into the mines, the COVID-infested mines, to see if they're safe. And unfortunately, the canary did not come out.
The canary came out feet first.
Oh, listy. Convict army, nearly all retarded and bred evil sheep shaggers.
I'm amazed you remember that.
I'm looking up the Wikipedia page right now because I remember the acronym.
So, Tenet's not that good of a movie?
Yeah. I prefer Coalition for the liberation and integration of terrifying organisms and their rehabilitation
into society. Unfortunately, the abbreviation is clitoris.
Wait, what was that we used on Red Dwarf? I don't remember.
That was the
Polymorph.
polymorph, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, season 3.
That was pretty early.
You know the
The
interesting thing?
polymorph was one of the funnier episodes.
Believe it or not, there's an actual Canaries jacket before season 8 in season 3 in Red Dwarf. It's like teased super early. They just decided to use that as a prop for the main outfits. So, like, there's some things in Red Dwarf you think they just made up, but like, no, there was like planning for stuff later in the show as early as that, or incidentally.
But so much of that show comes off as completely unplanned.
Yeah, because it's a comedy. Like, they just make up how many people got killed in the initial accident of Red Dwarf all the time. It's 2,000, no, it's 800, no, it's 3,000. They don't care. Who cares?
Did we ever find out what they were mining?
It's on the back of the ship, or underneath it. It's just mining ore. That's it, just general mining ore. Love how they just keep inventing new decks, by the way. Oh, by the way, we have a prison complex. Really? That was in the first...
Well, that one was sort of explained away that it was in like the original design that they didn't, or something or other.
I think the nanobots rebuilt the entire ship exactly as it originally was. They were just a MacGuffin. At the end of the day, they get the entire crew back. They get us Captain Hollister again.
Man, Joe, have you ever seen like scenes from that fourth Transformers movie, by the way?
I've seen most of that fourth Transformers movie.
Oh, Jesus, no. Why? Is it true Transformers are used in World War II?
Maybe.
Oh, God, no.
Phil Kelsey Grammer's in that movie.
Oh, no. And so's Anthony Hopkins, I believe.
He's in the sequel. He's in the 5th.
There's a fifth one? I thought there was only 4.
No.
I hate that this is a thing.
Well, maybe not anymore, because I think the 5th one was a bomb, and they've ceased making Michael Bay movies since.
Yay! We're free now.
We really need to watch the 80s movie. Back when they actually had balls in children's movies. We're gonna kill off every main character that you grew up with.
Okay, it's because the Japanese animators who made that product, they work for like Sunrise or some kind of like, Hasbro thing over there in Japan. They don't give a crap. They're used to the 1980s being Gundam territory where they could kill characters like crazy anyway. And to them, it's just a toy design. So they're going to get rid of that damn thing to make way for the next thing in line. They don't realize in America that everybody was like super attached to certain characters.
The only equivalent I can think of is the Garbage Pail Kids movie. Did you ever watch that?
No.
All right, they have like a lot of the popular Garbage Pail Kids in that movie. 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 of them. And all of the other Garbage Pail Kids, and there were a lot, almost 100, they explain why they're not in the movie because they're dead. They were sent to the state penitentiary for ugly children, where they were all crushed in a garbage compactor.
Okay. I mean,
So-
okay, what are Garbage Pail Kids? Please explain.
It's a puppet show for kids.
Oh, okay.
No, it was trading cards.
Yeah, but it was also a TV show for children.
Garbage Pail. Is it Pail as in Pail?
Yes.
Okay, that's how you spell it. Oh, it's a cartoon? Oh, I thought it was a puppet thing.
I thought it was.
No,
It's been so freaking long.
but it started off just as a trading card thing. Why it stuck around, I don't know. They made a movie as just a cash grab, and it was pretty awful from what I understand. I've not seen that dumpster fire.
Yeah, so I'm looking at a clip of what appears to be in the movie. This looks like Nightmare Fuel.
Oh yeah,
Why is this made?
Phil, the 80s were a hell of a time.
Oh, jeez, don't do stuff like that, Hollywood.
There's this thing, Phil. It's called cocaine.
Cocaine. What's in this cocaine?
Speaking of which,
none of this, Stewie. It'll send you through the roof. Go on.
in Coming to America, the movie we just saw, that one, did they like de-age Eddie Murphy for that scene where he and the other girl did it?
Oh, Leslie Jones?
Yeah.
They might have just taken a clip from the original. I don't really remember too many details.
It honestly did kind of seem a little CG.
Because, she wasn't in the original.
Yeah, they're just trying to construct a new scene from like the assets they have. I mean, if they've got Eddie Murphy signed up for this project, they might as well use him in that way.
I don't know. Look it up. I mean, it might be one of those cases that we've seen before where, like, the son plays the role of the dad at the younger age because it's kind of hard to tell the difference between the two.
Really? Does his son look exactly the same as him?
I don't know. I mean, hell, he's got 10 kids. I'm sure at least one of them looks like him.
A lot of his kids are daughters, actually. As far as I'm concerned, though, in terms of de-aging people, the most impressive example I've seen of that was in that Captain Marvel movie with Samuel L. Jackson.
There's plenty of product out there that has a young Samuel L. Jackson, though. I don't know.
For an entire movie, though, like, he was a main character in that.
I was going to say the best de-aging that I've ever seen in a movie is still like the beginning of Ant-Man with Michael Douglas.
Yeah, but that's only like, I don't know, 2-3 minutes.
But it's still great. It's still really good. You could tell that sequence was like genuinely carefully put together for like every single bit of animation, that his face twitched, like his eyes glinting in like a different direction or something. It doesn't have the uncanny valley effect where what you're looking at is just like this horrific, nightmarish, deformed kind of like fever dream. You know what I mean? That puts you out of it.
Oh, the worst example of that is Jeff Bridges in the Tron sequel.
But at least in the Tron sequel, I can forgive that because it's a CGI nightmare world to begin with. Like it's not real for a reason. He could just literally be a character in it, and he is. Like Clue is just evil Jeff Bridges, but CGI fun. And we've seen evil Jeff Bridges before. He was the villain of the original Iron Man movie.
Yes, he was the first MCU villain.
Technically,
a lot of people forget that.
Was it? Are we sure it's not Deacon Frost though?
Who? Oh, from Blade. Really?
I mean, Blade is a Marvel product. How come they've never used it?
They are making a Blade movie, but people are upset because it's going to be PG-13. They like the R Blade, where he chops people up with a samurai sword.
Oh, you mean the awesome, cool Blade plays like... Let me guess, if I bite your neck, are they going to need consent from the victims? I mean...
How much blood will actually be in this vampire thriller Blade movie in the MCU?
Just a little bit of a drop, just to get the point across. Oh, you're a vampire,
Willie Sparkle.
God, I hope not.
Why does anybody even care?
What?
about
Lola Bunny?
Yeah, why?
Because people feel the need to be offended by something anymore.
If they want to jack off to a cartoon bunny, just watch the original movie.
Okay, like I said, the real way of getting around it is just not making a sequel in general, man. I mean, but there is. Maybe just respect the original artist and just do the original design or something. Maybe actually give a character instead of treating her as that she's just girlfriend.
I agree. I agree with that, but I think if we're going animation-wise, the animators of the new movie probably didn't want adult men getting sexually aroused by one of their characters because let's be real, it's creepy.
Okay, but here's the
Oh,
here's the dowsing
one
thing
more.
that I've got to throw on this. Okay, like by no means in a way is Space Jam 2 going to be a desirable movie for adult men to watch, unless they're of that proclivity. But I don't want to watch it. Do you?
No, it's probably going to suck like the first one, but surprises happened. We weren't expecting to enjoy Coming to America, and we really liked it.
That's pretty good. Bill and Ted 3. Okay, not bad. But like, come on, even if that comedy movie that we just watched then mocked the crap out of the fact, like, hey, constant superhero movies, 80s remakes, and like stuff from really long ago.
yes.
Is that like make new things, guys? Hollywood is like stealing anime money these days, and like taking products from that. And the only guys on the planet who seem to know how to make movies anymore are Korean.
Exactly.
Oh, and they do make some damn good movies.
We gotta watch Parasite one of these days. We really do.
Yeah,
We
I've
always
been
say
wanting
that.
to see that.
Oh, Mob Psycho is so good.
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
I like his mentor in Mob Psycho. You know, the guy who's like, the so-called psychic.
Mhm.
He's a fantastic character. Love that guy. That's how you do the King character from One Punch Man correctly, in the best way possible.
The world's
King was
wink
alright.
wink.
Shut up.
The world's wink wink strongest man.
How do you pronounce that? Is it Tech Ho No Lies or is it Tech No Lies? Are we actually going to watch that one, Carol? Is that your pick?
Yeah. See if it even has been dubbed, because I don't know.
All right, I've never heard of the show though.
Which is why we're doing it. I mean, the whole idea is to do something different that we've never done.
There's literally hundreds and hundreds of animes, but the problem is like the majority of them are going to be like, what, 13, 12 episodes at most?
It is dubbed, Carol.
Okay.
I mean, that the Techno, whatever that's called, that you just like that,
No lies.
isn't that 12 episodes as well? It's one call.
22.
Oh, damn, that's huge. We do that.
Okay, but the thing is, like I said, it's only after, if you cut out intro and outro, it's only like 20 minutes an episode.
Yeah, we could easily do 4, maybe 5 a night.
Yeah. Keeping that fact in mind, so we should be able to get through quite a few, actually.
Just gonna make us watch Bakano all over again. Not that I would be against it. I love that show.
And then, if we run out of Anime April, we could either choose to continue it afterwards if y'all are really liking it, or y'all could watch it on your own. This goes with all of the animes.
Totally gonna force y'all to watch Interspecies reviews.
Joe.
I knew it.
Absolutely.
Joe. Hey, yo, the words 26 episodes are, that amount at least, and dub. I'm thinking Ghost Stories.
It's like the best dub ever made.
I know, it's...
I've actually seen that entire dub. I loved it so much.
You actually watched the full thing?
I loved it.
You crazy.
It might have been the funniest thing I've ever seen before.
Like, it's an actual licensed professional abridged series of a real show. Not a single thing is skipped in the entire thing. There's no edits or anything. It's just blatantly fun dubbing.
I'm honestly surprised I didn't get in trouble for that one.
Well, the original guys who hold that license, they didn't give a shit. They were like, we can't sell this to anyone. It's so poor of a product. And they just gave it to like the ADV guys and said, just do whatever with, right?
You call it poor of a product. It has a surprisingly large number of episodes. Like, it got picked up for several sequels.
Oof.
Look on Wiki right now. Because I actually remember doing some homework with this.
There were people who were like genuinely, they were fans of this show. When it came out, they thought like, hey, this is a good show. And everybody was like, no, it's not. It's really crap. But they were outraged over the fact that like the licensed product turn into a joke. I think it's great. It's an interesting little thing.
Oh, apparently Ghost Stories is on Amazon Prime. Is it dubbed though?
I don't know.
Reviews 4.8 out of 5 stars.
Damn.
I wonder what propelled it so high.
Alright, I gotta check to see if it's dubbed at least. It's dubbed.
It would never be subbed, and you know that. What's this show infamously known for? Yeah, Ghost Stories is what happens when the entire show goes off the script. Basically an official version of an abridged series professionally done. ADV thought this was the only way to fix an incoherent problem with the series. The problem was that it was an absolute dud to begin with that they had licensed.
Well, on that note, I'm going to bed. Good night.
Good night. Sleep
Yeah,
well.
nice schmuck.
Bye.
Not that I'd actually go with Ghost Stories, because I have another thing in mind.
Yeah, it'd probably be Joe's pick.
Be actually knowing them.
I'm still not sure what I'm gonna pick.
Alright, just go whatever you think is going to be interesting. You know?
Mm,
Well, it's been over 10 years since I saw Texan Wise. It was recommended to me by a friend of mine, Nick. And he told me from the beginning, there's like no dialogue first 6 episodes. There's like maybe 10 words spoken for the entire first 6 episodes, grand total. That it won't make any sense until like episode 7 on. So just be patient, stick with it, and it'll be worth it. So I did, and I really liked it.
That friggin' Integrate trailer from the other week. You know, okay, Kerry, you know what people are actually doing right now?
mm,
People are actually playing Dirge of Cerberus for like the first time in nearly, what, a decade? Simply
why?
because of that remakes trailer, you know, the thing with Yuffie and the showing Vice in it. The half expecting Dirge of Cerberus craft to be plot relevant finally after like a decade of ignoring it happily.
I thought it was supposed to be relevant now.
Well,
Because I'd asked about that, how much of all that side stuff, how much that Final Fantasy VII universe is going to be included in this remake.
I mean,
That was one of my concerns. Adding too much stuff to it will ruin it.
the Deep Ground Shelter, kind of like Hojo's Backyard, was kind of put in the remake anyway. So like it was always there, I guess. But the thing is, it never bled into the main plot so much. Like the core plot was always still the same, you know, like the beats of the first 12 hours of the game. And they're currently making the second one right now. They've mentioned like they'd finished mocap for it, like God, like way back in August last year, they'd finished. Because they announced it with like a Famitsu article with, I think it was Aerith's actress saying like, oh, just did like a really amazing shoot with 2 other actors who I can't say who they are. So it sounds like it's pretty much coming together behind the scenes.
I really liked the first part a lot. I hope they do not screw it up.
I liked it as well, and I can't wait to play it again in June, especially with all the 60k improvements to it. I think I just like the combat system to 7 Remake more than anything else. It's like genuinely fun to
It
play.
was a solid combat system.
You know, it's like somebody tells you like, hey, go back and play FF10, and you're like, slow linear hallways, sphere grid's cool, I guess, but bit of a janky kind of like slow, clunky gameplay now. Go back and play 10-2. Like, oh, and you know why?
10's combat was kind of dull at the beginning. It got better later on.
It got better.
Yeah, but 10-2
I actually really like the combat in 10.
Oh, you liked it because there's no time differentiation in that. There's no ATB or anything.
Exactly.
It's just move by move. You can
I
plan
ha-
out your.
I had time to think. I could, okay, I'm thinking about doing this. How would that affect the order? You know, I could give it more consideration.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, the whole thing about affecting the order of who comes next, etc., and stuff like that, and being able to see the effects of what you're gonna do, like up on the side there. I mean, that was a pretty good thing about 10, and you could do that more and more as sort of like time passed on in that story. So
And I really liked that. And I liked switching out my characters and everything else. Because one thing I'd always hated, because 10 was the first one you could switch out in battle. And I would like put on one group of characters and play with them, and the others would get some XP, but not nearly what my main ones were getting. And so I'd always have characters lagging way behind because, well, I didn't like them as much as these others. So, in 10, I could keep them all about the same level by switching out in game or in battle. So
I don't think I ever used I don't think I ever used Kimari or Riku after a certain point, whereas like I constantly used Tidus because he's
Yeah,
the main character.
Riku's great later on. Kamari's just crap.
Yeah, Lancet is not great.
Mm.
But like I constantly used Lulu, Waka, Auron, Yuna for obvious reasons, and Tidus.
I love Dorn.
Yeah, Auron's great. I think Lulu is my favorite character out of the whole thing. I just like the idea like each of the dolls that she got was like basically a minion that you can get in 14. Like Onion Knight, you know, like plus she was a pretty kick-ass black mage. Kimari crap.
Towards the end of the game, when you're getting limit breaks just fucking everywhere, or overdrives, they call them that, right? Riku was one of the better characters. She was straight busted if you knew what combinations to go for.
Yeah, is it because of the alchemy thing? Like
Yeah, the
mixing items and
mix.
such?
Yeah. Oh, what's that? I can create something that's going to guarantee us doing max damage for the next, like, fucking God knows
So,
how long.
so it's Brotherhood. It's a group-wide buff.
Or I can create an item that's going to make us invincible for a few turns, or...
Holy war.
Hmm.
Whatever the hell
Oh,
it's called.
there's this item I can craft and do a shitload of fucking damage.
Great Gospel, that was it.
Fucking... Oh, there's this one, which is Mighty Guard. There's this one, which is just fucking Mega Phoenix, or Megalix, or fucking Full Heal, whatever. If you know what combinations to go for, character was busted. Like, no question.
So it's like an item chemist version of Blue Mage, essentially, with like just game-breaking combinations.
Yeah. I mean, look up that limit break, because it should have a list of like every fucking thing she can do.
What's it called?
And just... What? The overdrive that she has? Mix.
Mix, okay.
Just look up a list of what things that you can create from that, and what their effects are. Because some of them are just straight busted.
I never play the character that much.
I remember using one a lot, which was... You can pretty much tell what it's about just from the name of it. Trio of 9999.
1K needles.
Yeah, you'll find some busted moves on that list.
I just go with a Gundam series actually now for April because it's completely in line with me. And it's not like anybody else is going to pick a. Okay, is anybody going to pick a wartime mecha thing?
No,
like,
I wouldn't pick anything that's super heavy.
Exactly, it feels mutually exclusive in my case, doesn't it? I just need to find something that has like one season and that. Carol's like Gundam, yay!
Oh, joy.
Yay!
Oh yeah, political storylines.
Guys, I might not be on next Saturday. I got the COVID. I got the COVID for all month. Bye.
Well, I am old, so yeah, I'm more likely to suffer.
Lie. I know you're ghosting me now on the other end of that Skype call. You've announced it ahead of time.
I'm just saying that if I should get sick, between my older age and my myriad health issues, I'm at greater risk for more complications. So, hear the cough starting? I'm sure it'll be in full swing by April. Just joking.
But Carol, it's okay. I got you a laptop that you can use inside your hospital bed. You can watch it the entire time with us. You just need to know. No escape.
Oh no, my new fiber optic cable is flying up. What's that, 5+2?
Guys, it stopped at 2:05 again. Bye. Yeah, you've had absolutely no connection issues ever since. You're doing really well.
Yeah, it started, like, it was for a couple of days, like, after that cable, and then just kind of stopped.
I mean, like, if anything, it's me who's had it bad now because of the Virgin Media thing. Just completely terrible, awful.
Virgin Media are shit.
Yeah, it's terrible. Like, I think I was telling you guys about this like the other night. You know, there are actual like web pages for complaints and all that. It's go to the actual Virgin Media webpage, right? And it says like there's a big bold line saying like, "Hey, there are no problems currently on right now. Everything is fine," right? And then you scroll down all the way to the bottom and see the up-to-date Facebook page messages that people are just ranting at this company within the last hour. And I swear to God, it's like 70-something plus messages of like, "Why is this company so shit? Why am I still using this ISP?"
Why are they?
Like the customer service lines are just, "Hey, please wait for an hour while you pay for the entire call, okay?" To make any kind of like cancellation to our packages, upgrades to packages and such like that. It's like they don't want you to do business with them. All they care about is that you're on the subscription that you pay per month. You're on a drip feed from them. That's all they care. That's all they want to know. They probably know like anybody calling in is going to be like about a cancellation of a contract or like any kind of like setup or something, or they just want an upgrade to a different ISP in general.
Switch to Sky.
Yes, because Sky are really great, aren't they?
Comparatively, yes, sadly.
I mean, okay, is this what you've got? Have you got Sky?
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
They're better than Virgin Media. I have been with both, and Virgin Media is just god-awful. Mostly because of their customer service. At least when I yell at people over the phone with Sky, I actually seem to get somewhere. That's how I got my fiber optic cable.
You know what I want now? I want to get rid of like the digital like television aspect of the package in general. I just want the internet. That's it. Wait, wouldn't you? Yeah, but I don't need 700 channels and the 700
No.
other than
And
the main
really,
three.
the only people fucking keeping that TV industry alive right now are just old people.
I wasn't going to say
Nobody
that, but
else like gives a shit, frankly.
I was going to say, like, they're not producing new stuff for television for me to care about to begin with, right? And then the only thing that's really interesting is